friends and strangers, Inky Arcana here to teach you something that I have just learned myself, and hope that it makes you as happy as it made me. And that thing is dynamic lighting. It is beautiful, and I found a really easy way to do it, so stick around for that, or jump to this timestamp up on the screen. Okay. And if you didn't skip ahead and you're still here, then go ahead and sit back and relax for a little while as we look at the speed paint of the drawing that I'm going to use for this tutorial in a few minutes. As I said, this shading style is something that I just recently, really tried out and fell in love with myself, and I haven't used it very many times, so maybe I'm not the most qualified to make a tutorial on it, but I thought that it was something I would have liked to have learned and seen from more artists like how to do. I thought it was really pretty, so I hope that it can still be of some use and that people will enjoy it as much as I did learning how to do it. As you can see here, I added in a bit of, you could call it shading. It's more of just color variation a bit before I even went in with the dynamic lighting. It was all on the base color layer, and it's not entirely necessary. I think it just adds a little bit more visual interest, putting maybe a pinker hue in some places on the skin and stuff, and his blue hair having a bit of a darker blue. But yeah, that's a bit beside the point of this video. Just thought I'd mention that it's fun to play around with the color on the base layer a little bit. A lot of these different shading styles that I tried were very much inspired by another artist, but unfortunately I don't know who it was because I saved the images to an inspiration folder a long time ago, and it was from Twitter, so the username didn't get saved and it didn't have a watermark, and I spent so long looking through Twitter and even did a reverse image search, and I could not find who the artist was, so sadly I guess it will just have to stay a mystery. But you know, I think it's pretty cool that seeing one artist do something can inspire me to try a new thing and then figure out my own take on it and my own way to do it. And I've definitely seen other tutorials as well that give tips and then oh, I'll take this part of that style and do the other way. I think I saw a tutorial once that was showing putting a more saturated line in between your the dark part of your shading and the normal color, and I implemented that in one of these. I thought that was really pretty, and there's lots of other things I've seen. I just think it's really cool that artists can learn different things and that create a style that is unique by sort of Frankensteining together a whole bunch of other stuff that you've seen. And that's just kind of funny to me. I think as a child, or when I was younger starting drawing, I really didn't want to take anything from anyone else's style. I wanted it to be completely original and my own. And the funny thing about that is that looking back on my art from that time, it is the least original. It's just completely anime, and of course I was pretty inexperienced, so it doesn't look as good either. But I don't know, I guess I just wanted to say embracing learning from others is such a beautiful thing. Speaking of beautiful, back to the lighting, if you're thinking of doing this, I would definitely encourage trying out different colors and just imagining different situations that could have light, maybe a pendant with a magical glow or something, and trying to add that in when you're doing your experiments, because it is so much fun and it looks so cool. This one I was thinking oh, maybe next to an aquarium or something, and it's just so fun to play around with. Light can do so many different things, and yeah, it's really fun. So I would definitely play around with different colors and forms of the light. It's really fun and amazing, and I'm kind of repeating myself now, but I just enjoyed it so much, and I think that other people who try it would as well. Well, that's almost the end of the speed paint part. Next we're going to get into real-time tutorials where I went through exactly how I created that with layers and everything, and I recorded it real time while I was drawing, and I realize that it's kind of awkward in some places. Hopefully I'll get better at recording one day, but anyway, I hope that you enjoy it and maybe learn something. And if you do enjoy the video, please remember to like and comment, because like reading the nice comments on my videos really makes my day when I post these. Okay, onto the tutorial. Okay, speed round. Pay close attention. So you're gonna go to your line art layer and just select everything outside of the line art, get all the little empty spaces, and then invert it. You're gonna go to a new layer and fill it up with a color. I like a purple or a pink. You can move it around and experiment with different saturations and stuff. It's gonna change it, but anyway, you go with that, go to multiply, and if the opacity is higher, it's gonna be more dramatic lighting. If it's lower, it's gonna be much softer. I like to go with somewhere around like 50 or 60%. You want a layer above that. This one's gonna be an add layer, and you're gonna take a real saturated, nice color, maybe like a red or orange. That's good for lighting. Make sure that it's saturated, and then you just take a normal pen and decide where your light source is going to be coming from, and just like block out some areas there. This is looking good. And just try and keep in mind where the light source is coming from, and block out some areas, and then take a color that's less saturated, lighter, and a different hue. Like if we started out with orange, let's go with some yellow. These are just, you know, pretty normal light colors, yellow and orange, so that's gonna be good. And then the marvelous smudge tool. You're just gonna for hair especially, and stuff like this, just make sure that you keep with the direction of the hair. So you see how the cursor is going like down and up, and be very careful to stay along, because then all these little things are going to turn out looking like strands of hair. Even though you don't have to go in and add every little one, it's just going to naturally look that way. Shut up, wind! I'm trying to record! Sorry about that. It's windy season here. Anyway, I'm probably just going to get carried away, like, smudging some stuff here. And, this doesn't look so great because I'm not good at recording on camera. I get all nervous. Sorry about that. I'll show you a better version that I recorded after I'm done with this. So, okay, now you see this. I forgot to turn down the opacity, so it made it too bright. There we go. That's kind of better. And we're gonna go back to our saturated color and walk in some more areas. Noses are obviously gonna reflect some light. This area might have a little bit of light. And the eyes, and maybe the lips. Yeah, who knows? There'll probably be some light shining on this. Yeah, and then I'll go back to our desaturated color, and no, don't. And we're gonna pretend that didn't happen and just fill in all those little things. And you could definitely do this. Freaking don't. You could do this without the saturated color, and just go right in for like whatever color you wanna use as your light source, but it really, it adds a nice crisp glow if you use a more saturated color on the outside, and then the inside is just like lighter. It's so beautiful. You won't regret it. It might seem like, it kind of takes more time. Like you could just do other things, go in with your normal color, but no, it looks much better this way. I promise you. But try out different things. And after this, I'll show you like see, look at this. If you don't use the more saturated color, it's just a glow. But if you use only the saturated color, then it's just really too saturated. It's like, oh, that's a very, very strong light. That would work if you're doing like direct light from maybe a candle or something. That would be pretty perfect because it's very saturated, very direct. But this, it's more like, oh, there's some sort of light source over there kind of far away. It's not direct light, it's just sort of ambient. And, it's beautiful. The most important thing when you're, like, smudging it around a bit is you want to keep in mind the three-dimensional shape of what you're putting the light on, because that's one of the most important things. Other than just describing a light source, this is going to describe the shape, the form of your person or whatever it is that you're drawing. So that's why it's really important to like think, okay, so here the cheek's kind of round, and so the light is only going to be on this one part of the cheek, and that's what's going to make it. Okay, that doesn't look so great, but you get my point. you just, if it doesn't look great, you try again. You smudge it out a bit more and think, okay, yeah, does that look like a cheek? Kind of does. Okay, cool. And yeah, so I think I'm just gonna get, I don't know what else to tell you, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more, and then I'll come back and probably like tell you some more stuff later. Basically, just you gotta think about where the light would be shining on it, and use references like when I was doing all the rest of these brain, hey, come on, stay with me now. When I was doing the rest of these practice things with lighting, I was using references, and it made it much easier to see like how light actually falls on stuff, and especially like if you can use a reference that has a similar shape, like a person, like that's a similar shape. If you're drawing a humanoid creature, you can use a person as a reference, and it'll show you how the skin and stuff reflects light, and where the I'm slapping my cheek trying to think of a word. The bones, I guess. The bones and the muscles, like how they fit together. It's good to know these things. They make your drawing look fantastic. Well, mine doesn't, but like they could, because I'm not using a reference right now. I'm getting a little carried away. Anyway, yeah, I'll probably stop with this soon. It's not really entirely necessary for me to keep this up. But look at that! That's like much better than just if you didn't do dramatic. Look. Let's see. Maybe I'll go add just a little bit of some shimmery shine in the eyes, and then of course I'm gonna smudge those out too, because I just like the effect. Oh, what? Whoa, that was actually, yeah, I might do that. Kind of creepy. I like it. Yeah, I might keep it. That's the cool thing about experimenting with stuff and just trying out something. You don't need it to look perfect, because then you can discover new things that might actually look better than what you thought you were trying to do. At least for me, that's how things work out a lot. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll try something this way, and then like, oh my gosh, I love it, and then I'll do that forever until I find something even better. Okay, there's the wind again. And so yeah, this one was kind of rushed and doesn't look great, but here's the test that I did. Actually, they look exactly the same, don't they? Anyway, so like, you know how to do that absolutely beautiful kind of shading, and it only takes 2 layers, and it's pretty simple. But what if you want to do an even simpler shading? There is a way. You just go to multiply, layer, and you go to your layer, you fill it in, multiply, turn down the opacity, and then, bada boom, you just erase away the places where the light's gonna shine, and then you smudge that out, and it is quicker, and it looks like, doesn't look quite as good, but it still looks good, and it's super duper quick. You have no excuse for not adding dynamic lighting to like every single thing from now on, because it's beautiful. Anyway, this has been a PSA or something. Please enjoy, thank you, goodbye. Why did I say goodbye? I'm still working on it. Anyway, this is... I have to undo that, okay. Being serious now. And I'm gonna finish this up. It's gonna take like, I don't know, we can look at the timestamp once this is done, but it takes like a few minutes, and you should not be this frantic like I am doing. It is a bad idea. It's gonna make you have to make sure that your smudge strokes are going along with the grain, the direction of whatever you're doing. And with skin, it's pretty smooth, so you don't really want to see any directional smudge strokes. Whereas with hair, you want to see those smudge strokes. They're gonna add texture. They're gonna make it look beautiful. But yeah, with the skin, you want it to look very smooth, because the skin doesn't have little individual things like hair, so there's not much to like catch the light in certain places and not others, unless there's a shadow. I forgot. You see, like, you can't erase, you have to add in more color, yeah. And then smudge that out for a shadow. And there we have it. Very, very quick, easy, 10 out of 10. Thank you. Goodbye. Before we end off the video, here's a quick little recap up on screen. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial and maybe it was helpful, and let me know if there's any other kinds of things that you think I could pull off that you might like a tutorial on in the future. And there we have it, how to properly throw some shade on your drawings. Thank you so much if you actually watched all the way to the end of the video. I hope that it was enjoyable. Remember to like and subscribe and comment and all that good stuff if you don't mind, and check out my art on Instagram where I post way more often. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Okay, love you, bye!